Yep. All right, cool. We are live, y'all. What's good, everybody? We're back. That was a little hiccup because BoobTube didn't like the content, I guess. I don't know. But they said it would they said it was violating policy, but it's really not because we edited it, we altered it, and we're talking over it. Slade Wilson was good. So it's no telling, man. But Carlos, you're in mute. Your girlfriend. Oh, isn't sorry. That's cool, bro. No problem. Just turn it on when you want to talk. Yeah, Sada, I don't know where she is, but I emailed her the link and I DM'd her on Instagram, so she should be in a second, I assume. So yeah, we were talking about Kevin Conroy. We were showing, we're doing a tribute. We're showing a montage of some of his different roles, the titles, the dates, the years that they played, and little clips of his scene. And I guess YouTube felt that was somehow copyright infringement. I'm not sure how, but we're gonna continue. Because there's nothing wrong with it. It does not violate anything because it is edited and we are talking over it. So here we go with the rest of the Conroy tribute. You got Stu, unmute your mic when we do and make sure we talk over it.
Which? It's over, Darkside. Even you must realize the folly of being a king without a kingdom.
I doubt the battle between the two Kryptonians.
Oh no, we jump to the next one because that's the one we just finished.
Quiet.
Yeah, Harley Quinn's Revenge.
I thought he was with you.
In 2022, a little video game that I never played.
What have you done?
You play this one, Stu? Oh, you gotta unmute. You gotta unmute again.
Batman, why do you think?
Fine. You want answers? Here they are. Sound investments. I built it. They are scary. A bunch. The 10
Yeah, I never played this one.
There.
Great.
You broke the chronal barrier. Went back in time.
This one I love. I love this one.
Completely changed the
Flashpoint Paradox.
Nearly destroying the entire world.
This is when he played Thomas Wayne.
Yes. There's still something I don't understand. I remember all of it.
Flashpoint.
Not just what happened after I woke up there, but my whole other life.
Yeah, I love
remember
Flashpoint
every birthday cake my mother
I love
ever
Thomas
baked me.
Wayne Batman. He's so brutal.
Everything. Perhaps some kind
He's
of
dope.
temporal
Like
after
he don't
effect?
give a damn about killing the bad guys
Or perhaps
and shooting guns.
it was a gift. Superman, report.
It's done.
Injustice.
That's really good.
Yeah, this was a great game.
Injustice.
Make sure
Yeah,
it's very
Injustice.
deep space.
I could play that all day.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the none of your damn business alarm.
The none of your damn business alarm.
Radiological. Metropolis.
Cyborg look dope right there.
Yeah, you do.
I can see the headlines. Justice League fails.
Oh,
Cloud
dope.
kills
Man,
me.
look at Lex. This got to be the first one. This is the first one.
Yeah, that was old. Didn't it seem older? Like it.
Yeah, that's the first
Do you ever
one.
go back and look at games you played years ago and be like, I don't remember it looking this bad?
I'll be saying the same thing. I'll be like, dang, like, wow. But when I first saw it, I thought it was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And it's not even like
I'll be like,
it's
whoa.
not even like it's like when I was looking at it, it looked dope. And it's like I go back to like Zelda, like Ocarina of Time, which looks atrocious now. But back then that shit looked dope.
Yeah. Now you're like, oh, how did my eyes even do that?
Word. Man, Sada, did you get my DM or did you
Hold on. I walked away from the computer for a second.
Okay. No worries. We just watched the last montage video and we're gonna watch the last montage video.
Okay.
But we are going to unmute our mics and talk over it because it is legal.
Who sent that thing?
It didn't say. Whoever it was.
Batman Beyond TV short.
Stop at one.
Beyond was cool. That was cool too. That was like all the
7 against
different
2.
iterations of Batman
Pretty
over the
bad
past. over history.
For them.
And that's old ass Strange Days TV shorts. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of TV during this time, so I wasn't like seeing these shorts. I missed these.
Is it over?
You guys have to unmute if you
For
talk.
now.
If you want to talk.
LOL. I totally forgot. But yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I didn't see it on TV. I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a good one.
Oh, it's just you.
When your boss
Yeah, Song Arkham's great.
You figured the SCU would.
Yeah.
He's barely in it,
All that
but he's great
just
when he
so
is.
you could kill the Riddler.
Right. He steals the show
Yeah.
every time.
And it wasn't even, yeah.
It was
It
a
had his
Suicide
name
Squad,
on it.
though.
He wasn't in it.
Nope.
Yes,
They
it was.
said we gotta sell this movie.
My men will get Enigma
They
next.
put Batman on it, yeah.
No next time.
Gotham still needs.
But I think they could have sold it if they would just put Suicide Squad.
I agree.
I think
Yeah.
they sold it.
And you will be forgotten,
Yeah.
Joker. Because of me.
Crisis
Arkham Knight.
Vengeance. I am the knight.
Nice.
Yeah, the Arkham Knight.
Oof.
No.
Look at those graphics. Those graphics
man.
age well.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt you.
I didn't like this
I don't
movie,
want either
but
of
I
us
did
to
like
end
their
up killing the
performances.
other, but we're running out of alternatives.
Nobody did. I don't think nobody liked Killing Joke. I don't think nobody liked Killing Joke. I'll keep it a buck. And I went to the movies, and I actually went to the movies and saw it.
Oh my god.
What, Killing Joke?
Yeah, because they had it showing in
It
some
was a movie
theaters.
theater.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah,
the
I
I
actually
have
went
the
to the movie
Blu-ray.
theater and saw it.
I got the Blu-ray and all of that, but I haven't really watched it. I just know that the comic was you know, was a serious, you know, was an iconic thing. You know, isn't that the one where he beats Robin to death?
That's
Death in
Death in
the
the Family.
That's
Mhm.
Death in the Family. Yeah,
This is the one where
That's
he
Death in the
shoots
Family.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Paralyzes her.
He paralyzes who?
Paralyzes
Barbara.
her, yeah.
Barbara.
Barbara Gordon. Yeah.
Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, she becomes Oracle after that.
Right. Yeah.
It
man.
just didn't translate well as an animated
Yeah,
movie.
it didn't.
just didn't.
Yeah.
Then they added that beginning
Yeah.
like 30 minutes that it wasn't part of the comic. It was just there to
Yeah.
like build up Barbara, and it didn't really work.
No. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much story. It's just way
Yeah.
too much. We didn't want it. We didn't want it. We didn't ask for it. Why did we get it?
Yeah, and that was the infamous sex on a rooftop.
Oh.
There's that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that actually made us like, why? Like everybody was like, why? Like you just taking away.
Bruce
It just took away
Timm.
from the story. Yeah. It just took, and Bruce Timm and his crew normally don't do that. They normally hit the nail on the head when they do their thing.
Yeah.
So,
Bruce.
I mean, but
Good.
he's been like obsessed with getting them together, like they're Batman and Batgirl, because like in Mystery of Batwoman, it alludes to their relationship. It's alluded in the animated show, carried over into Batman Beyond. Like he loves them together for whatever reason.
I don't
throttle.
I don't like it.
Yeah, me either.
I like him with Catwoman better because I don't want to see like a husband and wife team of Batman and Batgirl, or like a duo, like a couple, like they're vigilantes and they argue about like what villain to go fight or something. Like I don't want that. Like the fact that Batman and Catwoman are almost enemies, or you know, she was a villain, and it's just like it's so much better. I don't know. Yeah. I don't want to see the bat team.
Plus, Batgirl was like almost like a daughter to him. Like it's just
right.
It's so weird. Like
I mean, anybody that's ever worked, anybody's ever worked with their spouse or tried to run a business with their spouse, sometimes it can be beautiful and great, and sometimes it's just impossible. But it's better to, you know, if you have a mentor-mentee situation, for that not to be a relationship. Like you said, Sada, it's more like a father-daughter type thing. Yeah. But yeah. And Conroy, I didn't see Conroy's live action thing, but some fans were disappointed in Crisis on Infinite Earth's decision to make his live action Bruce Wayne evil.
It was not good, in my opinion. Yeah, I saw that.
Crisis on Infinite Earths?
His specific part.
Live action.
Yeah.
The movie.
When he was in that animatronic.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, they killed. So basically, he like killed himself almost. He like stepped back and like electrocuted himself. And it was all just there so that Batwoman, who's like, she only has a season into her show. So this is what's her name? Who's Kate Kane? Nobody likes her. She comes in and basically she goes to Batman because she's pinned as like the paragon of courage or whatever. So there's this whole thing back and forth. Turns out he killed Superman. Like he's a full-on murderer. And the way he dies was just so ridiculous. And she takes the kryptonite that he had. It was bad. It was just not. I mean, as long he loved it though. He said he really loved being able to, do it live action. So, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember he said in an interview he like really loved the opportunity to do a live action. That was like the only time I think that he ever was live action with it, and that's what he did. So, you know.
And that the Arrowverse even brought him aboard, him on board speaks to the actor's legacy. I mean, just
that's true.
Taking a voice actor to be, that says a lot. And in a storyline paying tribute to so many classic DC adaptations, the CW recognized his entire voice acting catalog as more than the equivalent of any live action star who introduced older fans to DC characters through film and television. And it might have been his first time playing a superhero in front of the camera, but but nobody had a better claim to that specific hero as Conroy did in a recording studio.
That's true.
Yeah. Between the latest direct-to-DVD films and Multiversus, the video game that they just put out, who put that out? It's like Cartoon Network. And so there's a video game that I don't know if you guys know. I know, Stu, you know about Smash Bros. Cartoon Network made a Smash Bros type game called Multiversus. And it's got
I've been playing
Batman, it.
Black Adam's in it. Bugs Bunny.
Shaggy.
I think I saw some trailers for that. Yeah.
Rick and Morty. Oh, it's dope. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's dope.
It's you got the girl from Game of Thrones is a character. I mean, there's just so many. Any cartoon that and I think it's Cartoon Network that did it. It's one of those cartoon programs.
Yeah, probably. If it's under WB's hat, it was probably Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Velma from Scooby Doo's on there and all that. So it's Shaggy and stuff. But fans would not have it any other way, man. Should Batman Caped Crusader be picked up after being nixed by HBO Max? He ought to return for that project because he still understands how Batman should act, think, and talk on a fundamental level. I mean, sorry, he would have returned for that had he not passed. But even after all this time, you know what I'm saying, revisiting Batman the Animated Series on Blu-ray or HBO Max, whatever, you got to do it. This is definitely a time. It's been 30 years, but it definitely reaffirms what DC fans have known about Conroy from the start. He still is vengeance. He still is the Knight, and he still is Batman. Yeah, man. Shout out to Kevin Conroy and his family. Big salute to the Conroys, and to all the fans, man, that are heartbroken. You know what I'm saying? We feel you. We definitely feel you. Speaking of Superman, I found this cool sort of behind the scenes thing about how they made Superman fly back in 1978. pre CGI. Remember, there was no CGI or anything back then. It was like it reminded because I was just watching the documentary on Disney Plus called Light and Magic. If you guys haven't seen that, groundbreaking shit. It's all about how
I've been meaning to watch it. Yeah, special
it's
effects.
fucking good. Yeah, it's about the special effects team, that ragtag group of dudes that came together to make the first Star Wars movie, stayed together after that movie, created a company called Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, that currently to this day, ever since Star Wars, does all the biggest special effects movies, period. But it was dope. It was dope to see that the way that they did the special effects back then with no help from CGI. You know what I'm saying? This is all dope ass camera tricks and special effects. This is the shit that I love, man. Like I really wanted to be a live action special effects, artist. So this is like my kind of shit. So I'm gonna share this with y'all. A little cool thing about Superman flying. Check it out.
If you look at the superhero movie genre today, it's pretty much dominated by Marvel, but it hasn't always been that way. Marvel didn't actually have a full feature-length movie until 1986, with the unsuccessful Howard the Duck, and that film was the first in a series of flops all the way up until Blade was released in 1998.
Absolutely awful.
DC, however, dominated the superhero
but when I was
genre
like
throughout
8,
the
I
80s
thought it was a shit.
and 90s. And this began back in 1978 with Superman and the slogan, "You'll believe a man can fly."
You'll believe a man can fly. That was their slogan. That was the selling point for the movie. Yeah. And it was the first time they ever showed that. First time we ever saw a guy fly.
Nowadays, modern VFX can not only easily make us believe a man can fly, but it can also make us believe that he can do it whilst wearing a bulletproof metal suit and being attacked by fighter jets and missiles. Back in 1978, making the audience believe that a man could fly was a bold statement to make, and a complex and seamlessly impossible feat to accomplish. The special effects team began the process by testing numerous techniques. The first was shooting a model Superman out of an air cannon, but this method lacked controllability and natural movement. Next, they tried a radio-controlled flying model. This gave them control, but again lacked natural movement. Another technique was to have a model fly using wires, but this too had the same unnatural movement. So they tried out animation. This gave them the control and the movement they wanted, but they couldn't get a photoreal look, and so it always appeared cartoon-like. This test was just a stuntman in front of a projected image, and although it allowed them to composite any background image they wanted with the actor himself, the actor's movements and those of his cape were very limited. To try and solve the cape movement problem, they did tests using a model on wires and a large fan. These then evolved into stunt people lying on fiberglass trays that were either attached to a hydraulic gimbal or just a long arm with a counterweight in front of black velvet. In the end, the special effects team actually used a combination of all of these effects and some...
Yeah,
like that right there, man. Come on, that look real. It still look real to this day.
Was a game changer for special effects.
Definitely. And so I'm kind of nervous though about BoobTube shutting it down again. So I'm gonna do the rest of it from a share screen, so they won't cry as much. There we go.
Yeah, Superman was groundbreaking.
Oh,
I think when I was 78, I didn't see the movie until like 83. And I thought it was the bomb.
Right. Yeah, no, a lot of people didn't see it till it hit video or whatever. And that shit took years back in the day. From the time like a video, from the time movie hit theater, that shit was like 2 years later on video, then like 2 years later on TV. It was like take like 3-4 years for shit to come out.
Yeah,
but
that's about how long it took to move.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna try to play this so that we can hear it and see it. Let me know, guys, if in the chat. Let me know, guys, if you can't hear what he's saying. All right, let me start.
Once to achieve the illusion of flight. For the majority of in-flight shots, front projection was used. Superman, or anyone who was supposed to be flying, was mounted on a fiberglass mold of their body and attached to a rig with a counterweighted arm. Behind them was a projection screen made from M3 Scotchlite. This material is capable of reflecting light back at close to 1,000 times its original intensity. In front of the camera was a two-way mirror set at 45 degrees. A projector set at 90 degrees from the camera would project the background footage onto the mirror, which in turn would reflect it onto the Scotchlite.
Nice.
We would then film both actors and the backgrounds through the transparent side of the two-way mirror.
That's dope.
Unfortunately, this method meant that little or no movement could be given to the actors themselves, and so any movement they wanted in the shot had to be done by moving the camera around the actors or the footage on the background behind them. In order to achieve this, the filmmakers developed a lightweight front projection rig. The projector, camera, and mirror are all mounted on one highly maneuverable rig. This meant that Christopher Reeve could remain horizontal whilst the background moved and revolved around him. In order to achieve this effect here, Zoran Perisic placed synchronized zoom lenses in front of the projector and camera. As the camera zooms in, both Christopher and the background image on the screen become larger. However, at the same time, the lens on the projector is adjusted to make the background image even smaller, cancelling out the camera zoom and effectively leaving the background plate unchanged. Zoran named this process Zoom Optical Flying Rig, or Zoran's Flying Rig for short. Now, I know what you're thinking. On a stationary rig, how come his cape is moving? Well, this movement was achieved with a bit of wind from some fans and this clever device. A radio-controlled motor drives a camshaft that moves these wires that are attached to the cape, making it appear to flutter.
Smart.
In this shot, the cape's movement is somewhat mechanical and repetitive. Oh, and that out in space, his cape wouldn't actually move like that. The front projection technique worked in 9 shots. It could not be.
See, he ruined it for all kids across America.
Santa Claus isn't really.
He don't care. Superman cape flapping the wind in outer space. That's all we know.
All right. Nobody questions it.
Nobody. No question that.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, it's like microwaves and non-dairy creamer. Nobody knows exactly how it works. We're just gonna leave it.
But it gets the job done, so you know.
Yeah, that's all we need. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Let me see. I think there's another part to this. Yep. Share. Let me know if this is boring to y'all. I think this shit is dope. All right, here we go.
Closer from a lot further away.
Best
movie ever.
Yeah.
Use a blue screen. But how do you use a blue screen if your actor is also dressed in blue? Well, the special effects
go green screen.
Yeah, like this is what's crazy about this is because we know this is pre-CGI. This took actual skills. But when I was growing up, like all this time, I always thought that it was just he was just sitting in front of like a big screen, and they were just filming him like, you know, laying on something with something fluttering, like with a screen behind him. Like I didn't realize it was this in depth. Like it would, like, you know what I'm saying? Like apparently that would have just looked fake as hell. So this shit is deep, man, that they went through.
Another ingenious solution. They got the content department to make
Look at that.
You know, when I was a kid, I thought he could really fly. I thought it was real.
Huh?
When I was a kid, I thought it was real. I thought the whole thing was real.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know about that, but I don't mean when I was a little kid, but yeah, like just this whole, you know, for a long time. But so they made the turquoise suit so that it would look different than the blue screen. I thought they were going to say they invented green screens, but here we go.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
The plate would then be color graded to return the turquoise suit back to its original blue color. Unfortunately, neither of these techniques worked well when Superman had to take off or land on the physical set. So for these shots, he was put in a harness and attached to wires hanging from various different cranes, sometimes up to 200 feet tall. These wires have in shots like this one, where you can see them against a light background. The difficult part was keeping the wires taut when they landed, because wires that weren't straight were very hard to trace. In an effort to avoid having to paint out the wires, Les Bowie came up with the idea of vibrating them. The theory was that because the filmmakers were running at 24 frames per second, if they were to vibrate the wires fast enough, the camera wouldn't be able to pick them up. However, to be able to get the wire to vibrate fast enough, they would have to use the thinnest piano wire they could. They began testing this technique with the burglar scene. In this scene, you can tell by the odd position of Superman's cape here, and the businessman's strange posture and red face. This shot actually used a tilt camera effect. Christopher Reeve was standing on the windows, and the stuntman playing the burglar was suspended on a travel rail by piano wires. Only the stuntman had the thinnest gauge piano wires with vibration, because there was a risk that a sudden snag or jerk could break them. Unfortunately, during these tests, the travel rig jammed, jerking the wires and causing one to break. This spun the stuntman over onto his front. Then the other wire broke, sending him headfirst into the set floor. After this, they decided to abandon the wire vibration technique and paint them out instead. And you can just about see the wires in this still here. The innovation in the Superman film wasn't just limited to the flying effects, though. Along with making us believe a man could fly, they also made us believe that he could run faster than a train by making a wire rig that could be lifted by a crane attached to a truck, that he could lift a car by using a similar method, that he was bulletproof, done by projecting the sparkling images onto a plate of Christopher using a 45-degree two-way mirror, and that Krypton was indeed a real planet. The movie Superman wasn't successful because its editing, filming, and effects were flawless. They weren't. Superman was successful because everyone involved, from costume designer to director, and from extra to lead, truly wanted to believe in the story they were trying to tell. And that meant we all did too.
That's correct.
Wow.
Interesting.
Very nice.
Very.
Yeah, I'm speechless.
That was great.
I mean,
the bulletproof thing, that's crazy. They didn't even have like squibs or anything. Like the mirrors, that's crazy. What was you about to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I said Christopher Reeves is definitely like Kevin Conroy, man. He is Superman, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tim Daly, as far as voice acting, he's my Superman. Definitely.
Yeah.
Keaton is my live action Batman. Conroy is my animated Batman. And Reeves and your boy, yeah, that's it. Icons in the game.
Speaking of Batman, has anybody been reading the Zdarsky run of Batman right now?
The Zdarsky run of Batman.
It's so phenomenal. It's so phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of comics out there, but you know, some of them, you know, stand above the pack, and you know, we wanted to spotlight, you know, this series that we think you guys need to have on your pull list. This week we pay tribute to Kevin Conroy, and also to the latest happenings of the Caped Crusader, with a look at Batman and see what the latest Gotham City's favorite crime stopper is up to with Chip Zdarsky. This guy is like, where's that matter of fact, you know what's crazy? We just talking about this comic right here, Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run made me a super fan of his writing. There's three authors, right? There's Jonathan Hickman, Al Ewing, and Chip Zdarsky. If they write, if there's a comic story out that one of them three wrote, I'm all over it. And Batman, the Batman run is by Chip Zdarsky. Started the path to becoming. He started the path on DC with Sex Criminal. that following the Sex Criminal series, Zdarsky went on to write a few Marvel titles, including Howard the Duck, and Star Lord. He started working on the Daredevil property, and that's what proved to DC that he was able to take on a noir focused hero, because his Daredevil run is super dark. Like it's really noir is the term for it. But it's mad dark. It's like a crime. It reminds me of like a true crime novel story. That's the vibe you get. And it's perfect for Batman. Like when I was reading the Zdarsky Daredevil, I was like, man, this dude needs to do Batman. And that's what he's doing. George Jimenez has been drawing the Batman series now across several different writers. But Stu, which ones didn't you just get some of these Zdarsky joints?
5. I read 125, 126, 127.
Yeah.
125 kind of starts off everything. Well, it puts everything in motion. It goes back maybe 2 or 3 comics before that. But Penguin actually has this elaborate plan to kind of get out the game so that he can re-enter it and be the top dog. So what he does is it makes everybody think that Batman murdered him. And then he goes off and gets plastic surgery and changes his face. But at the end of each comic, they show Catwoman on the trail to figure out who killed Penguin. And then she finally figured out he faked his own death. And then he sits down and he tells her why. But he's doing it in a way that he feels that he's telling like he's so sincere. Or like, like I'm doing this because, and I didn't know Penguin had children either. That's another thing. Penguin, he's like, I want everybody to know that everything I ever got, I got on my own. Like he was telling her, Catwoman, like, even though I'm from a rich family, they never gave me anything, like except for my name, Cobblepot. That's all they ever gave me. And so he goes on to explain to her how he built this whole empire that because his name is attached to it, it made his family even more powerful as Cobblepots. And he didn't like that because he was like, they never gave me anything, but they took everything I ever built and added on to their name. So he faked his death. Batman's bringing for it, but he tries to act like he didn't do it on purpose, or like he wasn't trying to frame Batman, and that was just unfortunate circumstance of him faking his death. So then that activates Batman's failsafe robot, which is his contingency plan for him, and the robot actually starts coming after Batman. The Bat family gets together. They try to stop it. They can't. Even Superman comes in and tries to take this thing out, and he can't. The thing pulls out 2 kryptonite swords, and he starts going ham at Superman.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So right now, Batman's in Atlantis, and he's waiting. He's trying to heal. He even jumped into his Zen-NR, Zen-NR, or however you say it, Zen-NR costume. Which, if he takes too much damage, Batman has this persona that he just doesn't care, and that's what that Zen-NR is. That's that whole costume. He changes the costume. His mindset changes. He doesn't feel any pain, and he's just ready to do what he has to do. Like he's like an ultimate version of Batman that pulls no punches. And that's a psychological persona that he has and that he breaks out. So he has to change into that persona to even fight this thing. And he finally gets away because no matter what he does, it anticipates all his moves. It knows everything. And he finally gets away. He shoots to Atlantis. Right now, he's in Atlantis trying to formulate a plan to go back to Gotham and try to kill this thing. But the failsafe robot is dope. You gotta read it. You just gotta read the whole comic. It's great. It's really,
sounds great.
Really good. Like, it's really good. If they were to make a Batman movie, why can't we get a Batman movie out of that? Why can't we get an animated series? Why can't we get an animated cartoon for the failsafe saga? Parts 1 and 2.
Maybe they'll tap into that in a couple years.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Bruce Tim, if you're listening, please give us that. Please just make that into an animated, you know what I mean, movie or something. Just give us 2 minutes. Hook us up.
If Bruce Tim listening,
hook us up. I know he's listening. Hook us up. Yeah, hook us up. But you gotta read it. Read the Batman. Go get them now. Go read them now. If you can get them all in one shot, I would start at 125 and work my way up. 126, I think, starts part 2. So 125 on back, I think like 120 or something like that is where they, build up to where, Penguin's master plan, but he doesn't put his plan into effect until 125. So you want to start at 125 on up, it'll explain everything to you in 125. But if you want more than that, you got to go back. But if not, you can start at 125, work your way up, and you're good to go. And those are Cook's pick of the week.
So George Jimenez has been drawing the Batman series now across, all these different writers, and like Noir and Rad was just saying, James Tynion is a phenomenal writer, and he was running. So it was like Tom King, then James Tynion, and now on to Zdarsky. So this run has been dope since Tom King. That's when I started it with the Tom King. I think it was like I think he started it, but up through the Bane City and all of that. So this is definitely a sick ass Batman run, my favorite. And like I said, prior to Batman, so prior to so James Tynion and Jimenez did Fear State, the Fear State storyline on the main Batman comic prior to Zdarsky's run on the title. And prior to Batman, Jimenez worked on with writers Dan Abnett and Daniel Wilson on Earth 2 Society comics. Following Earth 2 Society, he drew an epic Justice League run by Scott Snyder. But this comic, Failsafe, the Failsafe robot, one of Bruce's defense protocols, known as Failsafe, activated in the Batcave in the beginning of Zdarsky's run on Batman. This is when we learn just how prominent Failsafe is as a physical threat. And sadly, Failsafe is so strong that not even Batman and Robin are able to take him down. And
not even Superman can take him down.
Superman.
Not even Soup. And Soup showed up. They called Soup. Soup showed up. Bust all in the wall, and they didn't use the front door, just bust in the wall.
It's like Ultron.
What's up?
Yeah. It's like Ultron.
And he told, and Soup stepped up like he was the man. Like, step away from my homie.
He's like, what? Get out of here.
And the robot looked at him like, I think you better fly away while you still can. And Soup was like, who you talking to? And the robot was like, all right, you asked for it. So he pulls out these kryptonite katanas, pulls them out. It was like, let's get it popping then. You want some? You want some of this? I got all you want. Come get some. I got all you want, Soup. Soup couldn't stop him, man. Soup couldn't do nothing with it.
I got a box of these books, man.
But Failsafe activated as soon as Penguin died, because that's exactly what it is. Batman's not supposed to kill, and that's one of the things. If he ever got to a point where he started killing, that's who was tasked with taking him out. Failsafe.
Oh my goodness! Woo. That sounds really good.
It is, and it goes like this is the Bane joint is starts with like number 70, and then you go to and there's Bane on the cover of 71, 73. You got Thomas Wayne action 74, and then Bane, the Secret Files, Batman Secret Files of Bane, and then boom, City of Bane starts on issue 75. And this run right here, this City of Bane joint, this is where Alfred dies. So this is like a very epic, you know what I'm saying? Very important, very iconic run, because you know, it's the death of Alfred and all of that. So, but it goes, and then there's Thomas Wayne with the red eye bat. That's my dude. But overall, DC, the Batman series is an incredibly strong and versatile chapter for Bruce Wayne. And if you're looking for that massive action, you know, the main story has got you covered. On top of the sharp sense of writing across this series with the authors that have done this. I mean, Tom King, James Tynion, you know, Chip Zdarsky, it's like the top notch of comic writers. So if you're into Batman and good stories, fuck with it. Jimenez, like I said, continues to kill it with his and his Superman is great too. His fight scenes are dope. But in Batman number 125, Zdarsky's script allows for Jimenez to go insane on the page. And there's a panel where Bruce is bleeding through bleeding through background in the debut issue of the series that looks super dope. And I'm trying to get you the picture, but Jimenez is great at drawing massive action sequences, because that's not all artists can do that. And that sort of transition into the bigger plot oriented moments, you know, in the issue. And then number 126 opens with a beautiful moment, a gorgeous scene where everyone in the Batman family has their back turned to the audience. And it's great to see that Jimenez is able to draw different body types in this sequence as well. And Jimenez usually draws incredibly detailed backgrounds for the series as well. And that's always a plus, in my opinion. Then it goes to issue 127, which features heavy a dope fight with Failsafe in the Batcave. And but Jimenez still draws a great background with lots of detail. And there's tons of like sparks and technology, you know, whizzing around in the issue, and you can almost hear it, you know what I'm saying, the way he puts it, the way he draws it. And he, you know, he makes sure to keep the lighting sparse to note that the character is still in a dark environment, you know, but these moments are amplified thanks to the beautiful coloring from Tomeu More. I don't know how to say his name. Carlos, you probably know who he is. Colorist. Batman is this run though. It's a dope showcase for George Jimenez. And he's able to draw Batman supporting characters like Superman and Batman number one.
Jorge Jimenez.
Yeah, there you go.
He's Spain.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Tomeu More. Tamu. It's Tomeu. Is his first name, and his last name is Morey. I didn't know if you heard of him or not.
Tomeu.
Yeah.
Tomeu Mori, but that sounds like Japanese or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because Tomeu is not Spanish.
No.
It definitely ain't Spanish.
More isn't. But Jorge Jimenez.
Mori, it's Jorge Jimenez is from Spain. Yeah. He's a big artist.
Yes, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like this. I mean, bro. It's just super dope. I mean, just the way he draws Batman and Bane, detail. I mean, one of my favorite artists is like Jim Lee. You know what I'm saying? George Jimenez.
Tomeu is from he's from Spain, actually.
Oh, is he Spanish too? Okay, wow. So Moray is Spanish, huh? All right. Well,
no, not Spanish. He's not Spanish. Spaniard.
Yeah, Spanish.
Weird.
Like from Spain.
Yeah. Tomeu More. Yeah.
Oh, like Tommy.
Yeah, Tomeu. Or
Tomeu.
Tomeu.
But anyways, moving on.
So if it was Spanish, it'd be Tommy. It'd be Tommy.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a dope book. It's a dope series. I like how his sort of Superman contrasts with Batman's, you know what I'm saying, dark stoic look, and he does Superman sort of more bright, and I mean it's just dope, man. And Zdarsky's script features a lot of characters, allowing for Jimenez to draw lots of different characters going up against Failsafe, and he's great at drawing fluid motion on the page. And there's a scene where Failsafe stabs Superman with the kryptonite katanas, and he lays out the panels very strategically and using it as the focal point for the page that the other panels bleed into. Is fucking brilliant. And you know, he's able to capture so many interesting characters across the cast of the series. I mean, the whole Rogues Gallery, pretty much. The opening issue of the series teased the larger scope for Zdarsky and Jimenez's Batman run than what we've seen so far. And I think they hit it. And it will be interesting to see if more characters arrive in the future issues. The smaller scope for the opening story has led to some amazing moments. And in order to take Failsafe offline, Batman had to activate his backup personality, that, like you said, Stu, that Zurin R. I guess that's how you say it. Zurin R.
Something like that. Yeah, I know I'm butchering. Yeah, we butchering it. We know we butchering it, but it's okay.
Zurenarrh. So
it's Zurin
R.
Tomeo Mori.
Yeah.
That is. You read it in English because that is not Spanish. In Spanish, it's Morey.
It's Morey, yeah.
Okay.
But in English, there is actually a Mori. From Hawaii. There's Mori Boogie, famous maker.
Okay.
But I found it. Yeah.
That's it. And yeah. But 128 is the issue where the big battle between Failsafe and Gotham kicks off. But yeah, like Stu said, yeah, I think 125 is where it starts with Zdarsky's writing. The least I don't have it. I never have it.
Yeah, that's where it kicks off. There's an elaborate, setup, before that. But if you want to get into it, 125 is where you get in.
Well, you can get you can buy the whole deal on March 21st. They'll have the volume 1 of the Failsafe, graphic novel. So if you want to buy like all the issues in one book, you'll be able to do that in March instead of trying to go run around and collect all the issues. Well, you should be reading graphic novels anyways, guys. You should collect your
graphic novel. Yeah, it takes up a whole lot less space.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be reading through your collectibles. You want to put those away.
I'll get. You know what, Reno? If it's a really good cover, a really good book, I'll do that. I won't get. Is that my man Jimmy? That's dope, Silos. That's dope, Silos. I will. I'll buy the book, but then I'll wait for the novel and I'll read the novel. I'll try to tag and slam the books or whatever.
Show that again, bro.
Nice.
Dope.
This is from Pinterest. I just found it black and white and just gave it some color on top.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice. Dope. Skills
to pay the bills.
So Monday I don't really know what we're gonna do. But Wednesday we have a whole lot of Star Wars. We're just gonna go real Star Wars heavy on Wednesday because I've amassed a ton of shit going on with Star Wars that I got to break down. We got to get into, but it's gonna need its own show. So we're gonna do that Wednesday. But Monday, I don't know yet. But you already know it's gonna be dope. Monday's always good. We're gonna get into some hip hop shit. Speaking of hip hop, though, let's jump over. Let's switch lanes, switch gears over to hip hop, because King's Disease 3 has just dropped. And I'm telling y'all, this shit is fuck. Album.
I haven't heard it yet. I bought it.
Album of the year. It's yeah, he killed it. Him and Hit Boy killed it. It's for the most part 17 tracks, of which I'll say 10 of the 17 are like fucking anthems, bro, like super dope, and the other 7 are just good Hit Boy Nas, stuff. But yeah, the majority of the album is phenomenal. He does diss your uncle, though, Sada, which is interesting. So yeah, Pete, there's a Pete Rock diss in the I say about the 55-second mark in the song called 30 on King's Disease 3. He says something like, why did Pete act like that? What does he say? Where is it? He said, I wonder why Pete Rock would act like that. The type of behavior make me give rap right back. So, and he's referring to the lawsuit that Pete Rock said. But Pete said on his Twitter, in response, and I don't know if this was in response to the Nas diss, and I'm not really calling it a diss. That's actually what other people are calling it that really don't get shit in hip hop. It's not really a diss. It's more of just Nas being disappointed. But he's not.
He just saying how he feel on the track.
Yeah, he's just like, why do you do that? I don't know. I don't get it. But he's not really dissing him. And then Pete Rock doesn't really like say anything back. But what he said on Twitter was, Pete Rock said, I will be deactivating my Twitter sooner than soon. So whatever I'm trending about, I don't care, with a bunch of like laughing faces. Y'all have a good evening. Salute to my real fans that genuinely love your boy. Get ready for a barrage of the dopest music you're gonna hear in hip hop. Peace, strong producer. And that's it.
Real.
So,
that's real talk. That's real
official.
talk. That's real talk. But a lot of people gonna be deleting their Twitter accounts because of Elon Musk. So yeah. He's not alone in that one. Everybody. No. And he's really charging the rich and famous for using the accounts. He's charging them.
Yeah, like $8 to keep their check mark.
Yeah, and Stephen King was like talking shit about it too. I read something. Stephen King was like, "Fuck that." He's like, "I'm not paying shit." Actually, it was over him. It was over Elon saying that he might charge $20, but then
and then he
to
8.
Stephen King was like, I wouldn't pay $5. He's like, I wouldn't even pay $5 because they want that much per month. But really, bro, you're Stephen King. $5 a month, you're gonna even notice that? Like, come on, bro.
Dropping the bucket.
But also, who cares? It's a blue check mark. Like, who cares?
And I don't think, and I think people are a lot of people are misconstrued that Elon's just saying, oh, pay $8 and you get a blue check. Anybody pay $8, you get a blue check. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying if you qualify for the blue check, you have to also pay $8. That's what he's saying. So a lot of people are like, what? If I can just buy it for $8, what does it mean? Wake up. That's not what he's saying. Anyway, is what it is. But so what Nas is talking about, the thing with Pete Rock, he addressed the lawsuit from Pete Rock. And the sale of some of his catalog by MC Search. So, but on the King's Disease 3, his track is called 30. I just played a little bit of it. Nas offers his first response to Pete Rock's planned Illmatic lawsuit. In January, the legendary GOAT producer Pete Rock revealed plans to sue Nas over unpaid royalties from the rapper's seminal debut album. He's like, where's my money, bro? What the fuck? And Nas is like, I wonder why Pete Rock would act like that. The type of behavior maybe give rap right back. But it's unclear, whether he moved forward with the planned lawsuit or not. I don't even know if Pete did. But he originally alleged that he had never been paid his share of royalties for the classic single "The World Is Yours." And if that's the case, Nas, kick out, bruh. You know what I mean? Kick out. You know, he and his attorneys claim, despite a contract stating that the producer would get a cut of the money made off the track, and Pete being cut out of millions in royalties, their attempts to settle the issue have yielded no responses from Nas and his team. But Pete Rock at the time, he said, Nas and his people have stonewalled me since 1994. My New Year's resolution is to be compensated for my work on Illmatic. And he's not wrong. The World Is Yours was the only Illmatic track to get a gold plaque from the Recording Industry Association of America, by the way. And Pete Rock produced and received songwriting credits for the song, which has been sampled by everybody from Jay-Z, Eminem, Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, Mac Miller, you name it. But 30, which took its hook, references the 30 summers. That's what the song 30 summers that have passed since Nas's single Halftime. And he's like, for 30 summers I've been giving y'all, you know what I'm saying, scripture. But is one of the several instances on King's Disease 3 in which Nas casually alludes to rumors and controversial moments that have been a topic of discussion in his career. And that's one thing I will say about this album, Stu. It's some of Nas's best lyrics in a long time. This is coming, and I'm telling you this from a writer standpoint. Lyrically, this is one of the best shits that I've heard from Nas in a while, like many years. But
I haven't listened to it yet, but I'll let you know. I'm definitely gonna let you know. I haven't dove
Hit
into
Boy's work on Benny the Butcher's album was mind blowing. I was like, this is like the shit. I loved Hit Boy's work on that. But when Hit Boy did the Nas shit, I wasn't as impressed.
Which album?
Benny the Butcher. The Benny the Butcher with Hit Boy. I think it was Plugs I Met.
You talking about Plugs I Met? I think it was two.
Plugs.
I think it was Plugs I Met 2. It was part 2.
Yeah, no,
because everybody liked 2. Everybody liked Plugs I Met.
It's Burden of Proof, I think.
Burden of Proof. That's the new one.
Yeah,
you're right. That's the new one because that's the one everybody keeps talking about. Everybody, everybody hates West Side Guns. Everybody hate West Side Guns 10, but they like Burden of Proof. No, don't figure that out. So, all the West Side Gun fans. But I like 10. I think 10.
It's amazing.
West Side Gun 10 was dope.
Yeah.
But Benny's always used different producers. And West Side Gun's always used Conductor. He's always used Conductor as the same producer. And I get it because you try to keep it the same, to keep the sound the same. And that's what fans like. Because one thing rap artists do, they try to switch their sound to draw on, but if you got whatever following you got as a rap artist, that's what you got. Work with that. Don't. That's who you got to please.
And
stop trying to be all over the place and versatile. It doesn't work for rap art.
And
it doesn't
Nas,
work for no artist.
Nas, Jay-Z, like a lot of these guys that have been around forever that are still reinventing themselves and still putting out new music. Some people can do it and some can't, and some people kind of do it and some, but Busta Rhymes is one that has come out recently that, some of these guys are, what I'm saying is that some of these guys are putting out their best work and they're like 50 years old. And it makes sense because what other genre, you know what I'm saying? Like I would, a musician that's 50 is going to know a hell of a lot more than a musician that's 18.
So I never put the age thing on it. That's just experience.
Yeah.
Like if you've been doing it 18 years, 20 years, you better have knowledge. You better have working knowledge of music and things that's going on, rather than somebody that's just coming in the game. Because as each album progresses on, it should get better.
Right.
Not worse. Which means if it's getting worse, you ain't learned nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You're just trying to keep it with the industry. But the artists I respect the most in any genre, especially rap, are the artists that do their own thing. The artists who don't try to conform to the industry. The artists who don't try to be versatile. The artists who don't try to be this and make songs that. That's rap. Well, rap music, we rebels. That's what we do. We go against the grain. We go against
That's
the
right.
we do what we want, and we make the music the way we want, and we do it for the fans. Rap's always been about that, man.
100%. And originality, you know what I'm saying? Sorry,
Change.
Carlos.
Ooh.
Oh, wait.
Carlos, that is absolutely phenomenal.
That is
Look
amazing.
at that.
There we go.
Gorgeous.
That's Finch.
I love the blue and gray. I am a big fan of the blue and gray.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I was saying. I try to stay out of coloring Batman black because it doesn't pops up.
Yeah.
It doesn't. So
doesn't pop. Yeah.
I'm sending in this.
Yeah, I like. I mean, you know, I guess it's at first when the black suit came out, I was all over it. I was like, oh hell yeah, what's that gray and blue bullshit? Like this is what it is. But it's been the black suit ever since 1989, and so it's like now I'm nostalgic for the gray and blue. I want to see the gray and blue. But yeah. So check out Kings of These 3. It's fire. It's fire. 17 tracks. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely go into more about this, but I know Stu's got to run. And it's getting late, so we are going to call it a wrap. But yes, Slade can't wait till Monday. Neither can I. It's gonna be a great show. We'll be back. We're gonna go hip hop crazy on Monday and chop it up, and then Wednesday we're gonna go Star Wars mad and have fun. So we will see you guys then. Carlos, man, thank you so much for coming on, special guest, and kicking it with us. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
Anytime,
Carlos, man. Hopefully we'll be able to get in here Saturdays. Weekdays is hard because of work, but
right. All right,
I'll
cool,
be able
man.
to get back here.
One of these Saturdays, you got to come in here and show us some of this art. You got to come in here. Just show us your whole process. Yeah, you got to come in and just kick it with show us your whole process.
We'll sure do. So
we're gonna hold you to it. We're gonna hold you to it.
Real quick, I forgot that I wanted to show this today because I forgot to show it last Saturday. I did talk about James Gunn and all that with the DC Marvel crossovers. But these little joints, the Superman, these were the crossovers that we've seen so far in the past. Was Spider-Man Superman was the first big crossover between Marvel and DC. Yep, 1976 is one shot, Special Comics Superman vs. Spider-Man, and two of fans, favorite superheroes coming together. And then we had the Justice League and Avengers joint was wait, I'm going out of order. That's 2003. Well, anyways, we don't have to go in order. Daredevil, the Frank Miller Daredevil and Batman is dope. And we were just talking about Daredevil and Batman, so I can't wait. And that's cool.
I have that.
Ooh,
yeah,
look at that.
That's pretty cool.
That looks gorgeous.
Batman and Spider-Man, yes, sir.
That's
an odd combo.
Hardcover.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Loving it. And then we had the DC Marvel crossover classics with Captain America and Superman, the two golden boys of Marvel and DC, and Batman and the Punisher, the Silver Surfer and Superman. Batman and Captain America came together for this fast-paced collection. Was DC Marvel crossover classics 2. So, but yeah, just wanted to show that because a lot of people don't know how often or how many times Marvel and DC have done crossovers, and so they think they're like a Marvel DC crossover movie. That's crazy? No, it's actually not that crazy. They do it all the time. So, but that's our show, guys. We'll see you guys Monday, and you guys have a great weekend. Peace.
You too. Laters.